This video is about my friend Troy Offenbecker, a former United States Marine from Michigan, an Iraq veteran. He served in Kurdistan with the Peshmerga, as long with several units here in Ukraine, from GUR, 1st Battalion Legion. He's worked in a voluntary capacity as a trainer for many Ukrainian units. And he's got a really unique perspective that I value. I never knew him personally for the longest time, but I seen his interview on the Willie OAM channel, which did over 1 million views. And I found it very compelling. As Americans would say, it tracks. Now, Troy's my friend. We've known each other for some time. Although we have very different experiences, we have a lot of the same values. I hope you'll find this one interesting. It's just two friends chatting in the car after having a day out together. If you haven't watched my last video, I just completed basic training for the third time from the Canadian, the British, and the Ukrainian Army. And I did a video all about that. So I'll just show you a little clip of that, and hopefully you'll watch that after, because I think the two videos tie hand in hand together for anybody that would consider coming to serve in the armed forces of Ukraine, especially if you come from a military background in your own country. But enjoy my chat with Troy.
Рухаемся!
I'm going to ask you a word that you know, and I'm going to ask you how you define it. Please define for me esprit de corps.
Esprit de corps. It's a good one. It's basically, to me, like esprit de corps for the United States Marine Corps. It's to carry that spirit with you everywhere you go, right? So,
yes.
Never lacking. Like,
never lacking.
A
little bit higher voice.
A little bit higher voice.
Yeah, I don't use mics.
Man, that's hard.
I'm not chasing now. Yeah.
But carry that spirit with you everywhere, right?
Yes.
Like, you know, keep that courage with you. Like everything, esprit de corps is. See, you got me in a tough question now because I'm delving into all of the years of the Marine Corps.
Yes. And I know you're a Marine. That's why I'm asking you about esprit de corps. I know you know.
Yeah. So. Almost like you say when you go to another country, you're an ambassador of the United States, right?
Yes.
So everywhere you go, you're a Marine. You act professional.
Yes.
And, you know, you don't forget that. So, like, esprit de corps is just the pride of what you've endured to become a Marine. Mm-hmm. The acknowledgement of what you've done.
Yes.
You know, like, knowing that you hold yourself to a higher standard than anyone else in the room. If that makes sense, right? Like,
see, it was taught to me a bit different, and what you say makes sense completely. But it is the morale, the deportment of the group, not only the individual but the group, the overall morale and deportment of the group. A spirit, energy, a fight. Esprit de corps is essentially the fighting spirit, and how you carry yourself and conduct yourself. And I've been thinking about that a lot lately. In your military career, how many courses did you attend? Whether it be specialist courses, basic training, career courses? I mean, how many years were you in the Marines?
6 years.
Okay, 6 years.
Yeah, probably at least 5 or 6 courses. You know, we did like jungle warfare survival. You have like NCO's course, leadership courses.
Yep. Never took a machine gunner's course. I remember that.
Yeah. Machine gunner's course. You know, CQB courses, medical courses.
But like a course where you get formed into a platoon, and for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, you know. the fighting spirit of a unit. Have you been with whether it be a platoon, company, with a section that has had esprit de corps and one that hasn't? You've worked with, like, that has a group fighting morale. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Anywhere you go in the Marine Corps infantry,
Yes.
they're not going to be lacking esprit de corps.
Even if you're with new guys and you're not quite gelling yet, like, it's just automatically there. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's developed. It's
Yeah.
it's not given. It's not a given.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, obviously, it's a process. Like day one, you're not going to feel it, right? You might
Yes.
not feel it, but it's already there in building.
Yeah.
Like that's part of being a Marine is you're very fluid, right? In your functionality, you can adapt anywhere. So knowing that, even though a guy's new,
Yes.
understanding his background of the training he's been through, the knowledge he's learned, right? Even when it comes down to U.S. Marine Corps history,
Yes.
we are the same
From the
person.
shores of Tripoli.
Yes, we are the same person.
See, that's an interesting thing to me because I did some training in Texas, and the guy was Army. He was not a Marine, but he was an Army guy that didn't slag off the Marines, because his best friend, who, when you leave the Marine Corps, they don't let you get back into the Marine Corps. You can go Army, maybe there's some exceptions, but this guy didn't have a mark on his record. When he wanted to get back in, he had to go to Army, and I was under the understanding they don't want people back in the Marine Corps with outside knowledge. The Marine Corps had built such a system where everybody was on the same page to do the same thing. Like even your Jocko Willinks say all hail the Marines. Like Marine, when you read a Marine PAM, I don't know what you call them, but like their doctrine, everything is to a machine. He explained to me the yearly shooting qual for Marine.
Yep.
True or false in the Marines, not just infantry, but you could be a clerk in the Marines and you have to pass that shooting qual every year.
Yeah.
And he told me, he says, obviously they have build-up training for a month to pass their quals, because that's not their infantry guys can pass it right away.
Yeah.
But like, he explained that to me, and he said there's about 80,000 Marines, and I said, to get that high of a qualification, I mean, who's the best in the world? No, the SAS are the best. The Delta Force, fuck off. But to get 80,000 people cohesive to that high of a level, well, everything I got told as a kid in the Canadian or the British Army, maybe a Royal Marine's better, but there's only 5,000 of them. I don't know. I'm older now. I don't need to have that argument. Who knows? But you have 80,000 people that can deploy anywhere in the world at any time.
Yeah, for infantry.
Cohesively,
Collectively,
a machine, the machine.
I think there's around 270,000 Marines or something now, collectively.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like active duty and
reserves. Obviously, it's not all infantry. A lot of those are, other than grunt roles, you know, you got your cooks, you've got your administrative, but yeah, they all have to shoot. They all have a qualification they have to pass, and I mean, that's part of becoming a Marine, is you have to pass that qualification. If it's just, excuse me, it's just like swimming in the qualification. If you can't pass the swim qualification, even if you're going to be a clerk,
yes,
or a fucking chef, excuse me, you cannot be a Marine.
You cannot be a Marine.
Right.
Which leads us to jump way ahead in life. I mean, you've been all over the world. You've been in Syria. you've done things not as a Marine. Some interesting things.
Kurdistan, near Syria.
What about? So you come to Ukraine. What units did you officially serve with? Like, never mind some of the cool stuff you've gone off and done, but like, who did you serve with here? Originally in the Legion?
Yeah, 1st Battalion Legion, 3rd Battalion Legion, GUR, and Polk Regiment.
Okay, so you've worked in a Ukrainian unit as well.
Belarusian.
Yeah, Belarusian.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's supposedly a higher tier here. What directions did you work in? What different AOs?
I've been all over. So
Is there an AO you haven't worked in?
I haven't been.
Kherson, Zaporizhia, Donbass,
Kherson.
Kharkiv, Sumy.
I haven't been to Sumy
Sumy's newer.
or Kherson.
But from Zaporizhia all the way up the line,
Zaporizhia,
you've seen it all.
like all over Donbass, Kharkiv, Kupiansk. Yeah, I've been all over.
So, talking about Marine Corps cohesion, how's it work here in Ukraine? I never served in a foreign unit. Did you guys have cohesion? When you came here, did you have contacts to go into a good team with like guys that you knew from Marines, or a Marine that you knew that knew another Marine? How did that work?
When I first got here, there was a guy that knew of me. He had been in the Peshmerga as well.
Former Marine?
No, he was Army.
Okay.
But he found out me and another buddy were here, so he hit him up, and basically was like, "Come join the Legion." So that was how I got into the Legion originally, because I was
into first bat.
Yeah, I was in Ivano-Frankivsk doing like instructing and teaching medical courses. But yeah, I was lucky to be in a really good team in the beginning. Both the teams that I was in had a lot of really solid guys. You know, fucking Navy SEALs, Army Rangers, Marines. There was a Marine heavy team that was here. They operated really successfully.
In Kharkiv, maybe?
So they were Legion. I don't know if I can give away a lot or whatever. But
No, what you can.
yeah, they had over 10 Marines in the team.
Yes.
And they had an Army Ranger. So, I mean, they worked really well. But yeah, I always looked for Marines to join teams here. One of the teams that I went to, I'd actually left a really solid team to join a different team because there was a Marine there that I liked, you know. I always try to stick with the Marines when I'm here. Nothing against like other foreign militaries or branches.
Is it like when you buy something, it's like how I go eat at Pusata Hata, I know what I'm going to get every time?
Yeah.
Is it kind of like that?
Yeah. It's a cult. The Marine Corps is a cult, you know. So I know if a guy's a Marine, if we get into some stuff on the battlefield, I trust him to have my back before anyone else.
You know what his actions on are going to be.
I mean, you can't say you know, but I can assume.
Yes.
And it's more than I can assume from anyone else. I just know the standard of training, and I know the indoctrination process to become a Marine, right? So I know that guy's went through similar shit as me, and also he has that esprit de corps, right?
Yes.
So if I'm wounded, I assume he'll be the first one to come and get me, no matter the, you know.
No matter the situation.
Yeah.
How does that translate into working on a team here? Because you don't always have it good. You got a mixed bag. Yeah. I know about one of your mixed bags.
Yeah.
And an absolute shit bag.
Yeah, it makes it a lot tougher.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I said I kind of searched out teams or to stick around Marines.
Yes.
You know, my best friend here that was killed in January, he's extremely talented, you know, really professional guy.
We had the memorial for him in Maidan a few months ago, didn't we?
Yeah. He was a Marine reconnaissance sniper, you know, the most professional guy I've met here. And you get that quality, you know, when I work with Marines, I know that I have quality guys. Like, I had a conversation the other day with a friend, and, you know, he brought up, he's like, out of every team I've been in and everyone I've met, there's never been a Marine or U.S. Marine here that has let him down. Whether it was like, you know, being fiscally responsible.
Yes.
You know, down to taking care of the team, you know, keeping a clean room, clean barracks, or whatever you want to call it. Like I said, you're just indoctrinated.
There was a standard.
Yeah, that lifestyle, like, it's like people that get up and make their bed every day, vice people that wake up and don't make their bed every day.
Yes.
You know, and nothing against them, nothing against you if you don't make your bed every day, but
most days I like to throw the cover, get it right, and put the pillows back where they belong.
Yeah.
I'm not making hospital corners.
No. Like, it's something I think firmly, like, if you wake up with that mentality of you're not too lazy to make your bed, that starts
the day right.
Yeah, you know, you're on that right path of, okay, you know, you're focusing, you've accomplished one task, right?
And if you can't get the first task right, what's the chances you're going to get the second or third right?
Yeah. So just accomplishing that one minute task, I think, you know, starts your day off right, where in the Marine Corps you had to do that, you know, every day. Give the new guys a little secret here, but I used to cheat a little bit, right? Because you had to make your bed and it had to be tight, right? 45 angles and everything. So I'd make it really well once, fold, a nice fold and everything, pillow, and then I would put boot bands under my bed. I would strap them to the sheets and to the blanket. And keep that shit tight. And at night, I would just sleep on top of the bed. So when I woke up, I didn't have to scramble. You know, this was boot camp.
I did that. I did that because I had like a civvy sleeping bag, like a little thin one. Second time I did basic training when I moved to the UK. And they're like, why aren't you in your bed like this, all the other guys? And it's like, yeah, just because all these little tricks I knew doing it the second time around.
Because I'm smarter than them.
Yeah. And now I've just finished basic training for a third time, which is why I really wanted to do this with you. See, I joined the Canadian Army at 17, British Army at 20, did really well, then spectacularly fucked my career after about a little over a year, and been on Civvy Street ever since. You know, so from 17 to 21, I was in the cadet program. Younger than that, so there was a regimentation drill. And I've just gone through, I played at 39 years old, I played the game all over again.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking about things like, why do we do drill? Now, not all American drill impresses me, but Marine Corps drill impresses me. And I'm not sucking off Marines here, okay? And a lot of, I'm Canadian, and on a lot of my following, I big up the British Army, and I kind of like suck off the Brits, so to speak. But they are to a higher standard of deportment than us. They are. We have the same language. We have the same structure, commands. Everything is the same, but it's to a higher standard, and discipline is harsher.
Yeah.
And I think the British Army has the slickest drill in the world. But a Canadian soldier can fall in a rank, and 600 of them can march in step. You know, a Ukrainian, 5 Ukrainians can't march in step to save their life.
Yeah. There's not many countries that can.
A Marine can do that.
Yeah, but it's, like I said, in the beginning of
foot drill,
training,
rifle drill.
Yeah.
Before you even do anything with a section attack or a hasty attack or squad movements, you learn drill.
And that, you know, they do that for disciplinary reasons, right? Because if you can focus, lock in, you know, march together, these all come down to like helping you with shooting and everything.
Yes.
Even, right? So like when you can focus like that, when you start shooting, you can focus on your heartbeat, right? Like, you know how you're supposed to shoot.
Your rhythms.
Yeah, you shoot on your natural respiratory pause, right?
Yes.
So you can do the same thing when you're getting into drill. You understand your body more, these movements, you know, and also like commands and being on command like immediately, right? So if someone calls out an order, you're immediate, you know. So I definitely understand why they do drill. It was probably one of my least favorite things to do in boot camp, just because this kid in front of me kept screwing it up, and I almost got my nose bit off by my drill instructor.
Yeah.
He thought it was me.
Because you're trying to keep step, but he's the shitbag in front of you, and it's difficult.
So he would half step, and the drill instructor didn't notice him doing it.
Yeah.
You know, it was like an accordion kind of thing.
Yes.
So when I would come up to my pivot, I would have to half step before, and like off step, I would get back in step. But he came up and was like, motherfucker, you know, the whole raptor claw thing in my face. And I seen
Gunnery Hartman.
Oh yeah, I seen him.
Gunny Hartman, yeah.
Last second, he's like, and he told me after I graduated, he's like, I almost bit your fucking nose off. He's like, I went home and told my wife, like, I almost bit your nose off. And then when he seen that it was the other kid and realized,
How accurate?
Hazing is not authorized, and there was not hazing, but the kid was punished, right?
How accurate is Full Metal Jacket? I mean, obviously it was a different era. That was probably honest how it was played back in the 60s, but
yeah.
How accurate is that?
So, when I went through boot camp,
do you suck dicks, Private? Sir, no, sir. Bullshit. I bet you can suck a golf ball out of a garden hose.
Yeah. I mean, we.
Guess the Corps don't get theirs.
Yeah, we got. I mean, we got a little bit better treatment, right?
Yeah. Wasn't as much racial abuse. And
yeah. I mean, there was. Like,
lean forward and choke yourself. Like,
I got hit in the face. I got my eye busted open a little bit one time.
Yeah.
My eye. I don't think it was on purpose, but I wasn't fucking up. Somebody behind me fucked up, and that's kind of whatever. But yeah, I mean, they still put their hands on us, but
yeah,
Mothers of America kind of ruined that whole experience. So, I guess I had it easy compared to that. Like, but we got thrashed pretty hard. Like, they call it IT, intensive training. So if you messed up, or even just the drill instructor's having a bad day,
yes,
get on the quarterdeck, you're doing push-ups till he's tired kind of thing. But I didn't mind it. I liked the physical activity, and honestly, like, I came out of boot camp pretty cut and like in really good shape because our drill instructors were my lead drill instructor, my senior drill instructor. He was a former 0311, so he was a grunt, same career as me, and then he was a sniper as well, right? So he went through his sniper schooling, and he all about physical fitness, or fucking J-hat you call it, like the second in command. He was an engineer, but stacked out multiple deployments.
Yes.
So he was all about physical fitness. So I mean, they just thrashed the hell out of us, and it was awesome.
Yeah, and you're young, and you're just ready for that to be something different.
And it worked out well for me because the day that I checked into my unit, we were activated to go to Fallijah. So
yes.
I was in prime shape. I was locked on. I had some of the best drill instructors you could get, like knowledge-wise, and just like, taking the time to teach us. And yeah, I mean, they might beat your ass or scream in your face a lot, but I could tell they really did care.
Yes.
About making us Marines. So I got lucky. The guys that I had that were over me, like Gunnery Sergeant DeLeon, they made me into, I would say a pretty decent Marine. So when I ended up going to Fallijah, I was pretty locked on, and I ended up getting a Combat Meritorious promotion. So, I was promoted in Fallijah for like actions that I'd done or taken there, and like for participating in certain operations and stuff. So, I would accredit them to that Combat Meritorious promotion, and I kind of like, I understood the game a little bit better.
Yes.
Being hazed and thrashed, and, I could take more, like physically and mentally. I was ready to handle not everything, but a lot of what Fallijah was throwing at us at that time. And even up until now, there's days here where you almost want to give up, or you're just like, all right, this is it. And then I, kind of sink down into yourself, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, hey, there's this like, it's not a cartoon, but the guy takes like the little action figures.
Yes.
Have you ever seen it? What the fuck, Marine?
I've not seen that
And
one.
it's hilarious, right? It's like these Marines, but they're like, what the fuck, Marine? And they're like going through just bullshit, you would have in the Marine Corps. And it's funny as hell, but it's like one of those moments where you're like, what the fuck, Marine? Like, dig deeper, It's one of those like David Goggins things, like who's gonna carry the boats, like keeps them going kind of thing.
Oh god.
It's one of those like, okay, like
I will.
Yeah, like don't let yourself down, but more so you're gonna let the guys down around you.
And if this man should fall, who will carry the flag?
Yeah.
I will.
yeah. So I mean, you have that like cult indoctrination kind of like, don't fucking stop, don't give up, don't, as Marcus Luttrell says, like never quit. Yeah, they instilled that in me, because I mean, the majority of boot camp in the Marine Corps is like mental, right?
Yes.
It's about mental strength. Not a lot of physical stuff. There is some physical exertion, but most of that comes when, like, I did my follow-on schooling, School of Infantry, and that's where, you're like you're packed with all your stuff and you're humping up mountains.
Yes.
For a guy my size, I went through boot camp and School of Infantry with a guy that played professional football. You know, he played for, I think, like the Pittsburgh Steelers. So he's a big guy. You know,
And he went Marines.
Yeah.
Wow. Bit of a career change.
Yeah. His roommate in college was Pat Tillman, who was killed in Afghanistan.
Okay.
But I remember one day, you know, we're climbing up this like mountain with our packs on, and I'm looking at him, and we're carrying the same amount of weight, you know, and he's like struggling, and I'm like ready to give up because I'm just like, shit, like if this guy's struggling, how is my little ass gonna make it, right? And then one of my instructors looks at me and he's like, "Are you gonna fucking quit, you little bitch?" And I was like, "Fuck you, no," you know. And he was like verbally berating me, like, yeah, I know you're gonna quit. You're a little fucking faggot. You're a bitch, you know, like whatever. And I'm like, "Fuck you, man." Like, but he did that, you know, to like get me through it. Where he's like, he got me pissed off enough at him. I made it up, where mentally I wanted to make it, but physically my body was just so exhausted. You know, you're up for a couple days.
A little bit hot in here.
Yeah, it's because you're in here. But yeah, so I mean, like mentally, the Marine Corps prepares you for a lot, and that's one thing that's different about the guys here, like the Marines. I know that mentally, what they've been through, or that even if they haven't been in combat yet, like I know what they're physically able to handle and mentally prepared for.
Yes.
Right. I'm not saying they'll all make it through it. Like everyone can handle combat the same way, but knowing that they have that backdrop of being a Marine, I understand that they were pushed to the, you know, the limit of their mental capacity for a while.
Well, being through shelling, real shelling, and you don't get it anymore like 22,
No.
the good times,
Yeah, the good
23. It's a different experience. And a friend of mine who I admire very, very much was a machine gunner, a Rozvidnik, reconnaissance guy. And he said to me, he says, "Your training will not prepare you for war. You have to live it. You have to experience it." And I thought about that. I thought at the time there was a lot of truth, because I wasn't Rozvidnik. I was a medic in a volunteer battalion. I'd done some shit. I had done some shit, and I had actually paid the price for it a bit too. But then I thought to myself, recently, I've just completed supposedly one of the better training centers in the country. They say they're the best, but who doesn't say they're the best? Maybe the Territorial Army, I don't know, but I thought to myself, I said, well, no, training does prepare you if training is done right. But you still have to get yourself over we went to the fights today. You know, I know about the fight game. You can train, and you have to train, and you must train. And if you don't train, if you're not physically ready, you have to physically train to be capable to get the technique. And then when you have it goes physical, technique, and then strategy. Yeah. Same as a soldier, same as building a soldier. He must be physically fit to be trained, his weapons handling, his drills, his fire and movements. Then we could work as a cohesive team. Yes, training prepares you, but then there's the X factor of real war. I've never been through it before, but it seems the Marines have almost the perfect system. Of course I would say that because I'm scared you're going to hurt me in this car. But what I've seen here consistently in Ukraine, and I'll get in trouble with some of my followers here, because pro-Ukraine people in America or around the world, it's like we can't do a thing wrong. You know, Zelensky can't do a thing wrong. The Ukrainian army can't do a thing wrong. We do a lot of things wrong. Yeah. And I love the Ukrainian army more than anyone. But if I shouldn't get lambasted in the comments for telling the truth. A lot of times we suck. Because what if you do have a good unit? What if you do have a good squad, a good rota, but a shitty battalion commander? Or what if you do have just shitty guys to the left and right of you here? It's such a mixed bag. And what did they get trained? How much training did they have? How many of them learned baptism under fire to become good soldiers? And that is a real thing too, but it's a very expensive thing. what is your experiences? I mean, you're a United States Marine Corps combat veteran who went through a structure that we know that works, and you have friends who didn't come home. Shit happens, but that structure minimalized that. It minimalized that. We don't have that structure here.
No, not yet.
And would you go freestyle on that? Tell me what it's like working with good and bad shit foreigners on ops, good or bad, the factors, the commanders above you, good or bad, and then working in a uke unit. Like, would you please go freestyle on?
Yeah, so
I've been thinking a lot about this lately. You're the guy I want to hear it from.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah, give it to them.
Give it to them.
Give it to them loud.
Loud, okay. So, I mean, there's a lot of pros and cons for
Yes.
the international units.
Yes.
Like we said, you have some guys that have a different background,
Yes.
but we'll agree, like the British military and their training,
Yes.
a lot of them have really good training as well.
Yes. Canadian boys.
Yeah, I've met some good Canadians.
Yep.
You know, one of my good friends here is Canadian, and you know, he's really squared away. But
Jay Schnell from Vancouver. Sorry, that's a joke. We like Jeff. We like
so, okay, so you have pros and cons, right? The cons are not everyone has like the same sort of structure. Not everybody has this, you know, Marine Corps indoctrination cult vibe.
Yes.
Some guys don't vibe with that well, right? Some guys see it better with it, but then also you're getting this plethora of people that haven't worked together and don't have the same, you know, hand and arm signals, things like that. So
Yes.
it takes longer to build that cohesion. But what I've seen in the international units that build that cohesion, they're strong as hell, right?
Yes.
You might have one or two bad eggs, which we've discussed before, but the rest of the guys are locked on. They're keyed in, you know, and they can do a lot of things that your average Ukrainian unit cannot do, right?
Because they've got the skill set.
But they have the discipline, right? These former militaries, like we said, drill,
Yes.
just basic drill, that builds discipline, right?
They know how to do an ops order. They know how to do rehearsals. They know how to do after action reports.
Yeah, and it is all done, right?
Yes.
You know, like we're saying, I'm not knocking Ukrainians, but they haven't learned this yet.
No.
You know, they haven't learned a lot of this, and that's why I think it was important to get foreigners here, because the Ukrainians that I've worked with and met, they're really receptive.
Yes.
They want to learn as much as they can, especially when it comes to like tactics, you know, training and instruction, after actions, you know, all these things they want to build up on or improve on. So they're getting that firsthand knowledge from guys like myself when we go on operations with them. You know, one of the units that I worked in, we had a fully autonomous team.
Yes.
So we could go anywhere and do basically anything we want, right? It's like, hey, we want to hunt this helicopter. We're going to hunt a helicopter. Hey, we want to plan an ambush in this area. We're going to plan an ambush. You know, hey, we want to fucking set up mines. Like, we could do anything we wanted, right? But a lot of that freedom, we chose to work with predominantly Ukrainian units. And there's two sides to that, right? Like, we knew that they needed the help, and I'm not bashing them, but with us helping them, it saved Ukrainian lives, right? But we could also help instruct them. And there was a second to that is we also learned a lot from them, right? Like the Ukrainians that were fighting just straight trench warfare, they taught our guys. Like, we have this NATO doctrine of trench warfare it's off. It's not every trench is designed the same.
No.
You know, some of them are shallow, some of them are thin. Like, you're going to get in these environments, and these guys have operated, in all those environments, right?
Yes.
So we learned a lot from them.
Yes.
But we also taught them more than they knew about, like, planning, you know, structure, combined arms tactics.
Setting it up right from the beginning so it has the better chance.
Yeah, so using combined arms, right? Like, you're going to have this team go out here. And if you're going to have this team go out here, you know a generalization of how many Russians are there, what they're trying to do. So, hey, you're going to mobilize and move this artillery section and plant them here. So if something does happen, they can be supported by fire.
How
right?
to utilize your assets.
Yeah, I mean, so they can
Not
bring
waste
support.
your assets.
Yeah, and Because in the beginning it was tough. You know, a lot of guys were getting killed on stupid shit. It's like, hey, we're gonna go take this trench. Okay, what are we gonna use it for? They had no fucking idea what they were gonna use it for. They just knew that Russians were in there and they wanted to take it. And I'm like, if this has no value to it, why would you throw lives at it, right? Let these fucking assholes sit there and
Let them
freeze in the
sit
winter.
tight and
Let them sit and freeze in the winter, right? Let them freeze their fucking dicks off all winter. And then when you have a plan to push further beyond that, then you need to take that.
they're
But
that
if
much weaker and easier to take.
If the plan is to just take this now just to take it, they're going to want to take it back. And they have more troops than you, right? So these were the things that were happening. And losing Ukrainians, because, like we discussed, shitty commanders that just want to impress someone by taking a trench and being like, I've taken 200 meters of this. Okay, well, what are you using it for? What is the importance? Because what you should be doing at that rate when we were losing territory quickly, you should be pulling your guys back anyways and digging in, right? Reinforcing your defensive perimeter and your line. And that was something I said during Bakhmut was, we need to pull everyone out and establish a brand new perimeter and set that and say, you take Bakhmut, right? We'll stop losing guys, but you will not fucking get past here, right?
Yes.
Because we lost way too many good soldiers in Bakhmut.
We had such a topographical advantage in Bakhmut for the advance. The way the hill from East Bakhmut slopes down, and how the hill is so fucking high that
Yeah.
we're like, they could have. They could have. If 20,000 Wagner died there, 50,000 could have died if we had done it different.
Yeah.
Even I know that.
I don't want to get deported, but we had shitty command, right? Like, there was a lot of blue on blue. Ukrainian leaders were not working together cohesively, so their guys were killing each other, right? And that's the shit that was pissing me off, is because that shit did not need to happen. Like, and it was all over. It's almost like tribalism, right? We had commanders that would refuse to work together because of a spat in high school or something. You were losing your fucking country and you cannot work together. Like, that, you know, so there's that mentality that has caused a lot of issues here, right? And you get the same thing in Iraq or Afghanistan, that tribalism bullshit, and that's how people end up losing. So we had to try to tell them, hey, we don't give a fuck that Yvonne screwed your girlfriend or whatever the hell happened between you. You are in charge of hundreds of guys that need to work together collectively to try to save these cities. And more so, save the people that are in the cities, give them time to evacuate, you know. So it was frustrating, but I'll get back to the question. So the Ukrainian units that I've worked with, I've only had one unit that was like real dog shit. The rest of them, and I'm not going to say, but the rest of them that I worked with, their guys were, you know, they reminded me of US Marines, right? Most of the best units like I've worked with, minimal equipment, minimal shit, just like we're given in the US Marines, with that drive and that fire under their ass to fucking protect their country, right?
Yes.
They were some of the most patriotic guys I've ever met.
God
And
bless them.
it's a shame because a lot of them are dead, right? Because they want to be on the front. They want to be the tip of the spear, we call it. So a lot of those guys don't make it through. But those Ukrainian units we worked with, they were incredible, man. I mean, like the adaptability that they had gained in just a few short years, where you understand the United States Marine Corps is a couple hundred years old.
Yes, and how many months do you have to prepare a Marine, and how much build-up do you have before a deployment?
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was hinting at too, is these guys are doing that off minimal, right? So I think in the future, if Ukrainians are trained and prepared more effectively, or more proficient and like a better use of their time, then we're going to have far more effective fighters, and that it's going to save lives, right? I'm not going to say the unit, but we had a unit that I was training up to go to Bakhmut, right? A buddy of mine and myself, we just volunteered to help these guys. We found out they were going to Bakhmut. We weren't allowed to tell them they were going there, but we were trying to prepare them for what they were about to get into. And two of the commanders were amazing, right? They came out, they sat all day with us, they watched their guys. You know, if somebody fucking wasn't paying attention, they lit them up. chewed their ass, whatever, which maybe one guy out of each class was just kind of, the fucking joker or whatever.
Yes.
You're going to have that. But the third commander, he dropped his guys off, went and got McDonald's, came back, ate it in front of his guys who had not eaten, right? They didn't get any fucking breakfast. They were with us for hours, eats his McDonald's, talking on his phone while we're trying to talk. Leaves again, leaves his guys, comes back, whatever he did. Fucking, he's got his coffee and his stuff. Meanwhile, his guys have got nothing. They've got a little bit of water, whatever, no food. So these guys had brand new AKs, brand new helmets, brand new plate carriers. No IFAKs, no tourniquets, no fucking mag pouches, like nothing. And they're going to Bakhmut in like less than a week, right? So they don't have any experience speed reloading, seeing where it's comfortable for them on their kit, right? So if you're in a fucking firefight,
redoing your molly, redoing your and training the next day with that.
They didn't have any time medically. They said that they got time on a tourniquet for about a fucking hour to train with tourniquets. So no idea what's supposed to be inside their med pack, right? Or their med kit. No idea what's in there. If they're just getting one given. I don't even fucking know if they even got any given to them, right? So this lazy piece of shit, it's the end of the day, I walk up to him and I fucking tear into him. I tear into him. Like, I have the translator come over and I was like, hey, everything I say, I don't care. It's me saying it, so fucking say it verbatim. And I was like, you fucking piece of shit. And he looks, and I was like, you are the biggest fucking scumbag I have seen in Ukraine. I was like, you fucking know your guys are going to Bakhmut. You can't tell them, so you say. You won't let me tell them. Thankfully, they took training very seriously because I was an American and they fucking looked up to me. So they listened to what I said and they fucking heard it. It didn't go in one ear and out the other. But I told him, I was like, you're a fat fuck. Dude, I just laid into him. I was like, you went and got your McDonald's. Your guys are fucking starving. I go, leadership is about troop welfare. I go, when I was a leader in the U.S. Marine Corps,
know your troops and promote their welfare.
But my guys ate before I
Principles
did.
of leadership.
I didn't eat until all my fucking Marines ate. If we're in line for food, they go first. If there's half a portion left at the end, I eat half a portion. I don't get a full portion. My guys get fed, right?
It probably never is because you're blessed to be an American Marine, but in principle, it has to be that way.
Yeah.
It must be that way.
And I'm like, you're eating this McDonald's, you're doing all this shit. I go, you fucked off. You didn't stay here, so you learned nothing. I go, you have fucking zero background in the military, but you're a commander because you were a lawyer or some shit before the war. I was like, they don't want your ass. Daddy doesn't want you to go to the front and get fucking killed, so you were made a commander. But you're gonna get all these guys killed. I go, they told me, you've been sitting in fucking Kyiv the last 2-3 weeks, and they did no training whatsoever.
Pidaras.
You were just fucking sitting there. You were off getting fucking drunk at the bar, doing whatever you fucking were doing, while they were sitting there getting no training, going to the worst fucking place on earth at the time, right? And I laid into him, and he puts his head down, and I was like, I have half a mind to put my fucking hands on you, because I had broke my contract, so I had just got out of the military. I was like, what are they gonna do to me if I beat your fucking ass right now? And he kind of looked, and I was like, there's nothing they can do. I go, deport me? I go, they won't fucking deport me. I was like, I got a fucking award from fucking Budano for Bakhmut, bro. I'm not gonna get deported for beating your fucking ass.
Nope.
And he kind of looked, and I'm like, I should beat your fucking ass, And then I'm like, I calmed down a little bit, and I was like, bro, you are the worst fucking leader I've ever seen. And I was like, I'm gonna leave it at that. And I walk away, and the fucking interpreter, she stayed there yelling at him. And I asked her, I was like, what'd you say? And she's like, I told him the same thing. She goes, but from a Ukrainian, she's like, from a Ukrainian to a Ukrainian, she's like, I'm disgusted with him. And he's, these guys have a smaller chance at living because he's fucking lazy. She just laid into him. So, that was one of my instances with a shitty fucking commander.
Yeah.
And I felt horrible for these guys because I befriended all of them. We sat down and talked, and that was the other thing. After I chewed his ass, their bus is supposed to be on the way. It's freezing fucking cold out, bro. It's winter. He leaves, probably because he was embarrassed, but he leaves them there before the buses show up. None of them were allowed to have phones on them. So I had to fucking call the interpreter and be like, hey, find out where their bus is at. It's fucking an hour late. They're like, oh, there was trouble with the bus. These guys had no idea. So I sat with them fucking freezing my ass off. One of the guys, I was like, dude, if you're really cold, sit in my car. Because he was shivering, and he was too much pride.
Yeah, they've got a lot of pride.
I sat with my door open, a little bit of heat kicking out, fucking talking to him, you know, just to give him that, because he was full of pride. Like, not everyone could sit in the car, so he wasn't going to sit in the car. And he's like, the bus will be here soon. Fucking bus was late as hell, so I sat there, you know, hour and a half, almost 2 hours later with these guys while their commander fucking left. Didn't even go check. Didn't come back to check when they didn't show up when they were supposed to. Like, just a complete fucking jackass, right? So there are commanders like that, and that's Ukraine's fault for promoting these guys, right? And not having any, like, oversight. It's like, okay, you've got your time or your background, whatever. In the Marine Corps, someone is always watching you, right? There's always someone above you that is watching you. And they may not micromanage, but they're watching you. And if you don't do your fucking job right, you get fucking released. That does not happen enough here.
Because we have an NCO corps and we have an officer corps.
Yeah.
Like a real officer
Too many
corps.
fucking officers here get too many Ukrainians killed and still keep their command. And that's the shit that, like, breaks my heart, because all the, like, the bravest fucking warriors from the beginning, most of them are gone. Because they had shitty commanders in the beginning that didn't understand conventional warfare the way they should have, and they just kept throwing fucking dudes into the meat grinder, trying to hold a fucking trench line or something they should have given up. And, you know, it breaks my heart, because a lot of these dudes, they were the epitome of, like, a warrior. You know, they volunteered first to go, like, hey, the fucking Russians are invading. I'm gonna fight for my country. And then they get shitty leadership, which there's a lot of really good commanders. Like, one of my extremely good friends, Alex, right? Young kid, he was like 24 years old as a company commander.
Yep.
When we were working with him in Kupiansk, fucking between his artillery, like, I mean, he had infantry, but between his artillery, mortars, and us being on the front line, you know, with sniper rifles, machine guns, and also assisting as forward observers, we killed a lot of Russians in that area and pushed them back pretty far. But he was wounded, you know, he was in a coma for like 10 days. Not many other commanders are gonna have that happen. He would lead 100-man assaults. As a fucking company commander, he would go on the ground and be one of the first guys fighting, right? That's a true leader.
That's a true leader.
He wasn't going to do something he wasn't.
But the irony is we can't afford to lose him in combat more than any, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's true leader.
Yeah, but the thing is, you'll have someone behind him that picks that up. By being a true leader, you have guys that look up to that, right?
And they have to live up to that too.
They want to be that. So then, say, you know, a guy like that does get killed. The guy behind him should be just as hungry, just as thirsty to show his guys that he is that absolute same leader, right?
Yes.
And that's what that breeds. And that's what you have in the Marine Corps, is you don't have fucking officers saying, go there. My commander in Fallijah, he was the first one to return fire, the first one to fight, the first one to jump out of the vehicle. You know, the first one to run up. Like, I idolized the fuck out of him, because he never told us to do something that he was not 100% already invested doing himself, right?
Yeah.
And if we did get shitty missions, something stupid, he would be pissed. And, like, you're not supposed to bitch downward, right? But he would bitch and be like, I don't fucking want you guys to have to do this. We're walking fucking to the middle of nowhere to get shot at by snipers for fucking nothing, right? To stop 2 cars that might drive by. He's like, this is fucking bullshit. I don't want to lose any Marines to this shit. Like, he would let us know, like, hey, some dumbass up higher who's never been out thinks we need to send Marines in this area. That doesn't fucking matter, because it's not impacting Fallujah whatsoever. And if there are people, you know, like Al-Qaeda coming from that area, they're gonna most likely be stopped at a checkpoint trying to get the city anyways. Or they should be, right? Like, if we teach these guys how to man these positions and these posts the way that they should, then they should not make it into Fallujah. So there's no real sense in sending guys outside of the city that they're fighting into to the smaller villages that do not have, like, a big impact, right? Because we're already trying to fucking hold the city itself. And a lot of these villages, like Azargia, it was awesome. Like, outside of there, you had Sunni, Shia, Christians living together, right? They all lived together. And we asked them one day, like, you know, why? Like, you're taught from a young age to want to kill this fucking tribe or, you know, hate Christians or whatever, vice versa. And it was one of the best answers I've ever heard, you know, in my life. It was because we want our children to grow up.
Yeah.
It's like, if we breed hate into them and they grow with hate, they're not going to have a lasting life, right? Like, you see the guys like the Muslim terrorists, you know, or any terrorist of that nature, right? You don't fucking live to be 60, 70 years old.
You die a young man.
Like, I'm privileged to be alive at 40 years old with the shit that I've done, you know? Like, I consider myself one of the luckiest motherfuckers on the planet. You know, lots of concussions. I'm probably fucking retarded as hell now, but...
You are.
Yeah. Fair point.
My friend.
But, like, those guys understood. In that culture, if you breed your children and raise them up to hate everyone around them, or, you know, to kill, all you're doing is giving them a death sentence themselves. And it was awesome. You know, these people were super peaceful, and it was cool fucking going out there, you know? So I'm glad we did get out of the city to visit, like, Azurgia, that village, because the people were just, they were awesome. You know, there was one time we got shot at by a sniper, and we're running fucking open area, like a few hundred meters. I've got Mark 32 grenade launcher.
Yes.
And I was pissed, my buddy, because it had like the strap for it, right?
Yeah.
But he had broke it earlier on a mission, so it only had one, so like a single point. And that thing was just slapping my leg, trying to run, you know, from this fucking sniper shoots at me. So I'm running, and it just hit my leg, and like, it fucking hurt, but I couldn't stop running.
Yeah.
You know, like my leg was black and blue and stuff. But we get in this little like part of the village, whatever, and we're waiting for our evacuation. And some of the families that were there, they saw us. They're like, fuck, these guys are smoked, you know, like tired. So they come out and they bring their food and they sit down with us. And it was like their last meal of the day. And there's fucking 30 of us, right? You know, over 30 of us. And they're like, eat. And we're like, we can't take your food, you know? Like, we all packed MREs. So we pull out our MREs and we sit down and eat with them.
And start giving them some MREs too.
Give them candy and stuff.
Kids would have loved that.
Oh yeah, they fucking loved it. So,
Yeah.
but they...
What'd they think of Tabasco?
We didn't give them Tabasco.
No.
I've...
That's an interesting thing about American MREs.
Yeah.
That little, and it's glass, that little tiny bottle.
Yeah, you know my stories about Tabasco.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with that shit anymore. Actually, I love it, but
Avery Island, Louisiana.
so, you know, like we did some of that's like a lot, you know, where there was a time we got fucking shot at by a sniper and kicking this fucking gate, and you know, this little kid's outside sweeping. There's a fucking gunfight going on, and he's outside cleaning because he's the man of the house. And we like run in the corridor or whatever, in the little like courtyard or whatever, and he like looks at us, puffs his chest out, and he's like, come in. Like, he was trying to protect us, like, come inside my house, right? His dad was fucking gone or whatever. So we're like, fuck, man, like, we don't really want to be outside. So we'll come in and set up a little perimeter or whatever. Come in, and, you know, his mom's in there and stuff. So obviously the culture, we don't really speak with her. We talk to him.
Yes.
This little fucking, like, 10-year-old boy is the man of the house. So he's, you know, offering us water and shit like that. But it was cool. Like, we made friends with this kid, right? And then when things kind of died down and we could maneuver, gave him a little high five. Fucking, you know, a couple of guys, here's some Skittles, some shit, you know, thanks for letting us into your home when there's a fucking big gunfight going on outside. But it was just like, it was kind of sad to me too, right? Because he was unfazed.
Yeah.
He was unfazed. Like, he was just calm. Where you hear fucking dudes killing each other outside in the US, a 10-year-old kid is going to be terrified, right?
Yeah.
In Iraq, it was just normal. And like, those are the small things, like small, but those are the things like I reflect on, you know, from time to time, like here. And it breaks my heart because like these kids growing up around this, and you know, the air raid and the fucking shaheeds and all this shit, it's become normalized to them. And that is sad as hell to me, right? Because that's going to cause issues when you're adults, or when they're adults.
Well, this is the thing. A friend of mine, she's a medical commander in the Marines, and I bought, you guys bought a 78 series Land Cruiser. I bought two of them, but the first one was for her, and I delivered it to Konstantinivka. She's 33 years old, Marine. She's been a Marine medic before the war, pre-22. But her son, I'm not sure how old he is now. I think he's like 8 or 9. He's in Kriviri with the grandmother. And I know now from Tilda, like, because I'm close with her too, but she didn't tell me this, but the son's starting to develop some serious behavioral problems with the grandmother that he didn't have even a year ago. And you know, how often does his mom get to see him? She's stuck in a hole in Konstantinivka. She's getting after it. She's doing, like, you know, she's a woman I love and care for very much, but she can't be there for her son. Kriviri, they get hammered. They've been they've taken their part in this war, and she can't do nothing for her son. You're a father for a second time. I mean, you've started a second family here in Ukraine. You're not actively serving under contract now, but you're still doing things all the time for Ukraine, for the cause, helping friends. But you may be leaving soon to go do other things, but to provide for your family. But you're coming back here. Like, this is now, you're coming home here.
Yeah.
Like, there's a responsibility I think we have that goes beyond family. It's like a community here. How do you like, you go other places and you do some interesting things sometimes, but most of your time's here in Kiev.
Yeah.
And how do you deal with that in Kiev? Like, you've told me some of the absolute horror stories. Like, some people, well, it's best you just only talked about that to me or someone else than act out, and they deserve it too. You know, how do you sort out the good from the bad here? You know, how do you deal with that? Because for me, it's really hard. And if I talk about some of the bad here on the internet, I lose support. But it's
really tough. You know,
why is everybody not behind it 1,000% like we are?
Yeah.
And they're not pro-Russia. They just don't want to get involved.
Yeah. I mean,
They don't want to get hurt.
Kiev is hard, right? Because, like, I have friends that are civilians, but they do their part, right?
Yeah.
They volunteer, they raise money, you know, they purchase vehicles, they, you know, medical supplies, like, deliver things, they teach courses.
Yes. Yes.
They do their part, but so many of the guys you see aren't doing anything.
Look where we went today.
I know.
All jacked on testosterone, going to the gyms, taking steroids, big tough guys. How many? There was one guy who was an airborne, Desheve, he had the flag.
Yeah.
So he's active, but he's fighting it. How many of those tough guys there hide from the army?
Yeah.
Drive fancy cars. You seen it, the Mercedes that almost ran into us with the girl with the duck lips and the and him.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's
What's
like,
he doing? Maybe he's doing something, but I doubt it.
No, I've met a ton of guys. Like, I told you the story before of when I first got here the first year. I would frequent this little bar or whatever, you know, as an outside bar during the summer months, like when I would get time off. And
Yeah.
I was back for a week and a half or 2 weeks, something like that. You know, I didn't know the area well. I didn't want to, like, venture out far. I couldn't read the signs. I didn't know what the hell was going on. You know, I was still new here. And the only place I'd really been was, like, Ivano-Frankivsk and then the front.
Yeah.
So it was like, you know, two different worlds. Come and I get an apartment in Kyiv, or I would, you know, rent. Back then I would rent a hotel or something, or like an Airbnb. But every single night I would go to this bar, just decompress, right? Like, go have a couple drinks, and it would help me sleep. You know,
Was there a lot of foreigners there, or was it a youth bar?
It was in city center, so I mean it was
Mix.
But back then it was like all Ukrainians.
Yeah.
Besides, like,
Because the foreigners who come to live in Ukraine who don't participate in the war, that never really started till 23, didn't it?
Yeah. So, and the only other foreigners were like guys from
The influencers.
They were guys from the Legion. Like,
Yeah.
It was from my team or a different team, you know, a sister team. So we'd go out, we'd meet up there, and this one guy every fucking night, he'd show up with his own boombox, playing music over the music from the outdoor speakers. Slava Ukraini, screaming and all this shit. Big fucking dude, right? Oh, and like fucking yelling all this fucking moto shit. So I went up to him the one night and I was like, hey man, I was like, what unit are you? And he looks at me, I was like, you're a soldier, right? Like, soldat. And he's like, he looked at me like I was fucking stupid. He's like, no. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? You come in here yelling over us talking, all this shit, moto is hell, oh fucking blah, blah, blah. And you don't even fight for your own country, but you want to make everyone here listen to you like you're some badass motherfucker. I go, but this little tiny dude over here, 120 pounds, he fights for his fucking country, and he sits there quiet and has his fucking drink.
And has to listen to you?
Yeah, and has to fucking, I was like, man. So he got pissed off. We almost got into a fight. One of my British buddies was, I'm not going to say what happened after, but there was almost a fight, and then probably a fucking murder if it would have continued.
Yeah,
but,
they're a very stabby culture. We've talked about this before.
Well, so that had something else. But I was just like, dude, like, fuck you, like, you know. And then every time we'd see him after, he'd like kind of hide away. He's like, we called him out, like, dude, why are you coming up here? You're moto, like the most moto, you know, fake moto person I've ever met, screaming all this shit, fucking, you know, your anthem and all your fucking war songs and everything else, and you don't even have the balls to fucking sign up and be a chef or a driver or anything for your own fucking country, you know. And that was like my first taste of like these assholes back in fucking Kyiv that do nothing but pride. Like, I even asked him, well, I didn't ask him, I asked another guy, I was like, does he even do anything? Because they owned like a bike store, right? A bicycle shop. And they told me to come in, that, you know, like, we'll give you a discount like on a bike. Like, and I was like, man, I don't fucking have time to ride a bike around, and I'm not gonna ride around Kyiv or whatever. So I asked, I was like, you know, does he even do anything? And they're like, no, he doesn't do anything. He doesn't volunteer, because what they did was, like, I think it was like a quarter of their profits every month they would donate to the military, right? They were donating to units that their friends were in and stuff.
That's pretty nice.
So they were doing their piece, right? So I had no qualms with them, no issue. Like, dude, you own a store, you might not fight, but you're still helping the guys that fight, right? You're giving some money, you're doing something for the cause. We're these assholes that sit around and go fucking drinking and try to screw random fucking girls every night, but they don't do shit. They don't donate 200 fucking hryvnia even. Like, you can't donate $10 a month. Like, you can't do anything, but you're gonna be back here, you know, like, that's like, why I hate being in fucking Kyiv.
Like at my gym, the guy who says, "Oh, you can't be in the private training room. It's huge." He's got all these hot milfs in there for his class. He's like 28 and jacked, but I'm wearing a ZSU t-shirt. Okay, before I sign my contract, but I've already fought for this country. Yeah, I have.
See, your gym is different than mine.
And the girls are like, he can stay. It's like, no, he can't. Yeah. And I was like, I'm gonna call Tetsaka on you.
Yeah, I told you about my joke.
Yeah, and they don't give me an army discount. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm back for like a week and a half. Yeah. And it's like, I paid a high month-to-month rate because I never knew when my contract would go through, so I didn't get like the 3-month deal. Yeah. And I asked them, you know, I'm back for this long, but I can't pay that price for. I really want to have a sauna and go to the gym and get my health right. They didn't want to give me a discount, and I wasn't asking for nothing for free. You know what I mean? Like, but I think I'm entitled to that.
See, I'm gonna dovetail off that. I told you about my gym.
Yeah.
They give me a free lifetime membership.
Yeah.
Right? And I mean, it's a smaller gym. It's fucking nice though.
Yeah.
But like,
there's also that guy on the bench rack wants to try to like muscle you or something like that.
That was a different gym.
Different gym.
Yeah. So I go to 2 different gyms, right? Gotta mix it up a little bit, not let everybody fucking know where I'm at. But yeah, so everyone in there, all the trainers, you know, they all talk to me. They're all fucking super kind and cool. Like, you know, some of them, I got them involved in like camps and stuff, training camps and things, so they could, you know, a lot of them, they want to join, but they're scared. They have friends that are like, yo, we got shitty commanders.
Terrified of going to a shit unit.
Yeah, so.
Terrified of a Ukrainian killing them, not a Russian.
Yeah, so I'm like, you know.
Which is a real thing.
Do practice drones, you know, go through these courses, do medical shit, like do something, right?
Go through the Azov boot camp.
Yeah, but I was like,
it's tough as hell, but
yeah,
you'll have something.
I told them, you know, if you think you're gonna get fucking drafted or whatever, like, you might as well put that 1 foot in already. So I was helping them with training and stuff. Once they found out that I was an American, you know, because I don't really talk. I go to the gym to work out. Fucking.
You talk Troy Offenbecker monotone, no, like this. Vera makes fun of it. It's like, I knew that was Troy in a bar because you couldn't hear him and his hat was down to you.
Yeah. So.
Hi Vera, if you're watching this.
You know, I don't really like talk much. I go in, I just want to work out and get out.
Yeah.
Well, one of the instructor or trainers there, he like started talking to me, and I'm like, hey man, I'm sorry, I don't speak the language yet. I was like, not good enough to try to converse, right? And he's like, what the fuck? Like, he's like, oh, cool, I can use my English now, right? He learned British English, whatever. But he was like, where are you from? And I told him, and he's like, what are you doing here, you know? And I'm like, fucking trying to kill Russians, bro. Doing it. Whatever, but, so he was like, oh shit. Well, he goes and tells the, like the manager or whatever, I don't know, maybe the owner, that I was, you know, here fighting and stuff. Next time I come in, he looks at me and like I had to re-up my membership like 2 days later. So he's like, your membership finished. And I was like, oh no. I was like, dude, I thought it was like 2 days from now. I was like, I'll pay today. And he goes, no, you don't pay. It's finished. And I was like, what
you're kicking me out of your gym?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck did I do, man? I look at him, I was like, did I do something wrong? And he's like confused. He's like, what? And I'm like, I'm finished, bro. Like, why? Like, what did I do? And he's like, oh, blah, blah, you know, so he translates.
It's like chief. I understand.
He translates like, oh, no, you never pay again. It's like lifetime free. I was like, oh, fuck, man. Like, thank you. I was like, dude, you know. But that was like the way that they could like pay it forward to me, right?
Yeah, and you don't want nothing off them, but they want you to have that. And
Yeah.
that makes them feel good too.
Yeah,
And
like,
you need that.
yeah,
You
when I go
know,
in there,
which-
like, I have to shake hands with everyone, you know, hey, how are you? Like,
Yeah. But it's Ukraine. You walk into a room and 20 guys, and you have to shake everyone. It gets annoying after a while. That's
Yeah.
culture. Have to shake every hand.
yeah. I mean, I don't mind it so much.
That was a
there.
weird thing on training. Like, I don't know if it's because I was the foreigner or because I have experience, but with other guys too, like it was normal to shake the instructor's hand. But like we're coruscants, that would never happen in the American or like on week 3 of training. Not on week 1, but like week 3, week 4, just shake the instructor's hand. Dobrohodnya, pan instructor.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what ukes are like. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's cool.
yeah, I like it. I mean, it was like a culture shock to me, you know.
Yeah.
Being in the military and then being some foreign fucking random and having the battalion commander come up and talk to you and like make jokes with you and fucking drink coffee with you
Yeah.
and, you know, try to remember your name out of the fucking couple hundred foreigners. So like, I love the culture here. I love the people. I'm not knocking the people.
No.
Besides the guys that fucking walk around acting tough that don't fight for their country. Like, if you want to do that, bro, tuck your fucking dick when you walk around. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to go around and act tough, tuck your fucking dick. Like, I'm just sick of the whole bravado thing for the guys that don't fight. Like, the guys that just walk around and are calm and chill and aren't fucking yelling at the bar and all this shit. Like, whatever. And,
But that'd be the same in any country. And Americans say, no, we would fight for. Yeah, right. When the bullets start flying, you'll find out who the real men are in every culture. Like,
yeah, and that's like what I explained to one of my Ukrainian buddies. I'm like, man, I go, we have a bunch of fat and out of shape people in the U.S.
Yeah.
that couldn't pass the training, but they would try to go to the training to fucking fight. If our country went to, like, if we were invaded, right? Say we were ever actually invaded, which is kind of hard to do.
Yeah.
But if we were ever actually invaded, there are a fuck ton of people that would raise their hand. And yeah, you're going to have the guys that don't. But our guys are out of shape. Like, you have some of the fucking most in shape, like, physical peak people here. And they're not fighting, right? They're not doing anything. Like I said the other day to a buddy, I go, look at this motherfucker. I was like, he should at least be near the front, carrying wounded out of there. Like, look at this monstrosity, just giant fucking human being who's in here doing, like, in Kyiv doing nothing when he could fucking, bro, he could carry my little ass, 2 of me. You know what I mean? Like, do something, bro. Fucking, it's to the point, bro, we're so far into the war, I am knocking the fucking guys that don't sign up. At the beginning of the war, I was like, hey, you know, I get it, whatever. But now it's fucking years going on. And the thing is, after the war, these guys, they're going to have a head and a handful of shame.
There's a way I look at it now, and I find it helps me. So, Ukraine's population is now at 35 million, okay? And everybody who's fighting, everybody who's serving, everybody who's doing real volunteering, foundation, organization, everybody who's given at least their 10-20% every month, and then all the foreign support we have. I'm not counting the governments because they're doing it for their own reason, okay, and we need it. But the individuals who are giving their $10, $20 a month, like those people who are giving thousands a month, those people online who are sharing, they don't have any money, but on their social media, they probably killed their own algorithm sharing Ukraine.
Yeah.
We're part of like 5 million people in the world who are something special, whether you're a Rozvidnik fighting in Bryansk, or you're that single mother at home who supports Ukraine. Like, I don't want to tear anyone, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I will call out hypocrisy. And I got to be careful how I do that sometimes, because if I don't have all my evidence.
Yeah.
But you know, there's some people who've come over here and built profiles and come home quite well off, you know. Some of them have used the name of God. I was one of him. He was quite late to the show. I think he came in 23, 24. I was like, oh, we haven't found a slick talking preacher yet.
Yep.
But I went for breakfast before I met you, before the cage fights, with Dan Rebar. And Dan Rebar is a former U.S. Army, most of his time in Germany, you know, in the 80s.
Yeah.
Former Michigan State Trooper. And he's been in Hospitallers Battalion, the longest serving. He came after me, but he's never left Ukraine. He's a driver, nothing glorious. He's seen some hell of a shit. He's seen a lot of quiet time in the front, as you do.
Yeah.
And Dan's in Kiev, and we went and had breakfast. And he told me a story about a guy, and it's fucking, you know where we went? We went to Milk Bar. So of course you were going to run into some foreign shit bag at Milk Bar, weren't you?
Yeah.
Anyway, but I wanted to go to Milk Bar, and the portions are getting smaller and shittier there. It used to be good, but I digress.
If you hear that, Milk Bar.
Yeah. He's telling me about this guy from Southern Europe who I've met once and got a photo with or whatever, because I'm a celebrity. He got a photo with me rather. And he's done something to help Dan before, but he's got to go to my Dan to do some sort of memorial for people from his country, and he invites Dan, and there's going to be people from his country, and he tells Dan, these people, don't talk to them about me, okay, when you're there. And Dan's like, that's kind of weird.
No.
Do you know what I mean? And then his girlfriend, who's from Ivano-Frankivsk, and Dan's like, well, I want to retire in Ivano-Frankivsk. You know, Dan's 54, and he wants to, I think he wants to stay here too. And he's like, I'd love to meet her. He's like, that's okay, but don't talk to her about what I do here. And the best Dan knows that he does, he volunteers with the girls to make nets, and he's helped get some stuff in here. But you're a 30-some-year-old man from Europe who floats in and out of Ukraine and does something, and oh wow, great for. But you don't want Dan to talk to these other people from your country what you do, and you don't even want your Ukrainian girlfriend to know what you do. What the fuck do you do here? I'd really like to know. Yeah. Could you please justify the oxygen that you breathe? Yeah. There's a lot of fucking LARPs.
Yeah.
But I know you're not a LARP. I know I'm not a LARP, but I also know there's people who you will never see on the internet, who are foreigners here, who have done and who have died for this country, or are still fucking getting after it here, who have done a hell of a lot more than you and me have ever done, and the public will never hear of that. Yeah. And I just like to put it into perspective, because, you know, it's not fair to shit on Ukraine, but it's not fair to have those rose-colored glasses either.
Right.
This is real life, and if you come here wanting to do good and just showing everything you have, you will find they will take it and they will say thank you. But who are they? Yeah. But there's a lot of people here, like, I couldn't leave them. I'd be hard pressed now in my life to leave them, because they are special, and I just want to be an equal amongst them. Do you know what I mean? And they're not all Ukrainian, they're not all foreigner. They're not, but I want to be an equal amongst the best. And, well, I didn't think this would go on this long, but I've got to feed you before I take you home. Anything you wanna say, good, bad, positive. My thing is, it is what it is. Ukraine. It's not the best, it's not the worst. It is what it is, and I'm very proud of my happy where I am. Anything you want to get off your chest before we go eat?
Oh, I just want to
Tell people at home to keep supporting.
That's where I was going to go.
Whatever.
I just want to say thank you to everyone that has supported and continues to support Ukraine. You know as well as I know, this is a very important fight for all of Europe. This basically sets the precedent. If Russia was allowed to win here or keep territory here, we're looking at multiple other wars with Russia and other countries. So, I guess stay the course. Those that are volunteering, continue to volunteer.
Yes.
If you're donating, continue to donate. Like, we appreciate all the support. If you haven't fought here, I don't suggest you do, but
if you have the burning desire to, please do.
So if you do, I would appreciate touching base with me first and, kind of going over some things, because the other night at that meeting, I met a lot of new faces, and they've only been here a couple months, and
they've already signed up. They've signed their contracts.
Yeah, they did their training, and now they're on break in Kyiv for a little while or whatever, but they have no fucking idea what is about to come. So I would like to, assist. Initially, my first interview, I told everyone to stay the fuck away, right?
What, the Willie OAM million view video?
Yeah.
That's a good video, by the way.
Thank you.
That's a very good view.
But yeah, I initially was
Most people, my followers, hate Willie.
Yeah.
I like him.
I like him too. But yeah, so I just, I don't want to say that anymore, right? I don't want to tell people don't fucking come here, because we do need all the support we can get.
Yeah.
Not everyone has to be on the front line. You can drive medics, stab points, drones. Like, I just didn't want to see some fucking 19-year-old kids come here, like has happened before, and get killed.
I feel like he missed out on the Great War of Terror, and he has to prove himself.
First or fucking second week here, they get killed. First or second month, or they're mortally wounded, and they can never fucking have an actual, real job again. Yeah. So I digress on that. Like, I don't want to tell people not to come here anymore. I just want to tell them to really consider the possibilities of what could happen if they do decide to come here, and reach out to someone, find someone who's been here that can talk to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I would like to just say thank you again, especially everyone that watched this far. But, we appreciate your continued support, and Slava Ukraini.
And just for a real treat at the end, because I got in trouble for some of my right of center views on one of my recent videos in one of my heated arguments. But if America, and most of the pressure's on America, I'm sorry, if Europe doesn't grow some balls, first of all, if Europe does not let their testicles drop, and America does not put their might behind this, which is the flick of a finger for American might and industrial capacity, geopolitics is like organized crime, and it's all about precedence. If somebody owes you money and you do not collect that money for whatever means, other people, it's free game.
Yep. And
you're weak and they will take you out. And that's how Paul Castellano got taken out by John Gotti. But if the world order, if America does not do this, it's going to set a precedent. And Obama called it the world order, a black man. But this nice white man order that we have that still rules the world, it will evaporate even quicker. And even the most liberal, loving person will feel their children will feel very uncomfortable when they are subjugated to China, Iran, Russia, and BRICS and all the other countries that said, maybe we'll take this new order. Like how France has been kicked out of Africa. Okay, you might say that's wrong, but Russia has replaced France. So, yeah, you traded one bad for an infinitely worse.
Yes.
And that's the end of my video. But that's a harsh reality of this world. It's geopolitics is about precedence. It's about precedence, and if Ukraine is allowed to fall, you're not going to feel it. Your children are going to feel it.
Yeah.
All empires fall, but why don't we keep ours a little bit longer if we can? we're all part of the same hypocrisy. That's my thing at the end. That's the way I feel. Let's go get something to eat.
Sounds good.
And we're gonna eat some red meat. We've had some cage fighting.
Yeah.
Had some Ukraine, and we're gonna eat some red meat.
Blood on blood.
Thanks, guys.